which will take place in the day of the Lord. Okay? And when the day of the Lord comes, all of this foolery going out here in this Western Hemisphere, it's all going to be taken out. Alright? It's all going to be destroyed. All of this shit that you see out here, this westernized society is all going to be destroyed by way of nuclear destruction. And if you don't take heed of what we're saying to you, you're going to burn in that lake of fire. Because we're the prophets of the Lord. That's who the hell we are. Alright? We're not them guys in the church singing hallelujah dance songs all day. Yes, so give me Ezekiel 2 and 7, brother. Ezekiel 2 and 7. Read verse 9, I believe it is. Verse 9. It speaks about when all these things come to pass, they shall know that the prophet have been among them. No, that's Ezekiel, bro.
Verse 5. Ezekiel 2, verse 5. And they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear.
Right, whether they will hear or whether they forbear. So we here, we're doing this work so we can publish this work out here, right? And when all hell breaks loose, we've already did our job already because we told you about it. Now no one can say, well, we didn't know, Lord. You did know because we were telling you what was going to happen for years.
Yeah.
Go on, brother.
So they say, for they are a rebellious house.
Right.
Ye shall know that there have been a prophet among them.
Right, and they're going to know that a prophet have been among them. This word a sign that represents the end of this world. That's what we represent. We represent the end of this world. Okay? Matter of fact, brother, give me that too. It speaks about how Ezekiel was a sign to the people. So when you see a group of so-called black men standing up here with the garments on, proclaiming their real nationality as being the Israelites and prophesying, that represents the downfall of this world. That's what that represents. That means the game plan is going to stop real soon. That's what that represents. Like I said earlier before, this society was established by violence and it's going out by violence. Makes all the sense in the world, doesn't it? You know what I mean? It's just what it is, man. It is what it is, and it'll be what it gotta be.
So Ezekiel 24, verse 24.
Yeah.
Thus Ezekiel is unto you a sign.
Right, thus Ezekiel is unto you a sign. So the same way Ezekiel was a sign unto his people that he was preaching to, were also a sign unto you. Because you don't see the average young black males out here doing what we do. You don't see this. Bringing out Bible scriptures. You expect a bunch of old geezers to do this. You don't expect a bunch of young guys to do this. But we're a sign which represents the end of the world. Go on, brother.
Revelations 18, verse 20.
Right.
Rejoice over her down heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, when the Most High have avenged you on her, and a mighty angel took up a stone,
Right.
like a great millstone,
Show them one, no.
and cast it into the sea, saying,
And that's why, if you notice through the Spirit, what is the name of our camp? The Great Millstone.
right,
And guess what? We didn't call ourselves that. Some brother called the apostles that. Okay? Some brother named the camp Great Millstone. Go on, brother, if you want to say something.
No, I'm just shouting out my brother.
Yeah, go on.
Because the scripture saying we're going to consume the wicked he shall consume the wicked with his mouth. 2 Thessalonians.
But that's what we're doing right now.
Exactly. So this is and a mighty angel took up a stone, like a great millstone, and cast it into the sea. The sea is talking about like the multitude of the people.
Yep.
And we're in the multitude of the people.
Yep.
And the Most High set us up in all small countries, scattered.
Beautiful.
And we're signifying the end of Babylon.
Beautiful.
So this is like a twofold scripture, kind of. And a mighty angel, because the spirit come upon us, took up a stone like a great great millstone and cast it into the sea,
Yep.
saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down.
And that's what we preach all the time. We always preach about that, man. How America's going to be destroyed. And it's in the scriptures too. Now, it doesn't say America in the scriptures. What it says is Babylon the Great, or Babylon, or daughter of Babylon. That's what it says. But we've been preaching this for a long time, that the so-called white man and is an American society, the revival of this ancient Roman system is going to be destroyed. Okay? And that's what we preach about. Matter of fact, brother, I want you to read that verse again.
Right. Excuse me. This is Revelation 18 and 21. And a mighty angel took up a stone.
And that mighty angel is Yahweh Shai. Because Yahweh Shai really sent us out here to do this work. Go on, brother.
Like a great millstone and cast it into the sea.
He cast it into the sea like the brother broke down, which represents the multitude of the people. Now, you know how you prove that? Because when you read the book of Revelation 17, it speaks about how
Revelation 17 verse 15.
Beautiful, brother.
And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues.
Right, so there you have it. The waters represent the nations and the people. And you can even get one in Isaiah 60 as well, brother. There's another one in Isaiah 60 where it speaks about look about thee. How the seas shall be converted unto me.
Oh, right.
You can get me that too.
This is Isaiah chapter 60 verse 5. Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fill and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea,
right, because the abundance of the sea, go on,
shall be converted unto thee,
right,
the forces of the Gentiles.
That's what it's telling you right there. The forces of the Gentiles and the Gentiles included
shall come unto thee.
Shall come unto thee. So the seas or the waters represent the people. It's all parabolic. And this is why the so-called white man can't pick up this Bible and read it. He don't understand the scriptures because the Bible is hip talk. We understand it because we speak in some kind of hip talk. That's how we speak as Israelites. So when we read the Bible, it connects with us in totality. Go on, bro.
Psalms 18 verse 4. The sorrows of death compassed me, and the floods of ungodly men made me afraid.
And the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. Is he actually talking about a flood? No. Let's read it again. Let's read between the lines.
Verse 4. The sorrows of death compassed me.
Right.
The floods of ungodly men.
And the floods of ungodly men. And that's applying today. Because the ungodly men that the Bible talks about is ruling the earth right now. Give me that in the book of Job 9 and 24. That's happening right now. What David was saying right there, that's what's happening with us right now. We're compassed about the of ungodly men. Okay? Go on, brother.
Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Right.
He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
Right, says that the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. And when you have the wicked that's in a state of exaltation, what happens? More wicked multiply. Okay? And that's, I believe that's in the Apocrypha somewhere. Forgot how the scripture goes, man. I think it may also be in Proverbs too. It may also be in Proverbs. But anyway, let's continue on.
Right. Psalms 18 and 16. He sent from above, he took me, he drew me out of many waters.
Right, he drew me out of many waters. In other words, we were drawn out from amongst the evil, wicked men.
Right. He delivered me from my strong enemy, and from them which hated me.
I'll tell you what, brother, read up a couple of verses. We're going to break this down the right way. And that's why, like I'm going to say again, the average old pedophilistic looking so-called European cannot break these scriptures down because it's parabolic talk. In order for you to break these scriptures down, you have to have the connection with the Bible. You have to be spiritual minded with this Bible. They're not spiritual people. They're not spiritual. And that's why they can never break the Bible down. That's why they'll look at you like you're crazy. Why the hell are you reading that Bible? You don't understand that Bible, do you? Of course I understand it. If I didn't understand the Bible, I wouldn't be reading the Bible if I didn't understand it. No, it's because you don't understand it. That's why you find it to be nonsense. Because you have no connection with the Most High. All right, so that's you, know.
So what you want me to do? You want me to
Yeah. You know the verse which speaks about floods of ungodly men. Let's read that.
The sorrows of death compassed me. The floods of ungodly men made me afraid.
So who represents the people of death? Let's read that one more time.
The sorrows of death compassed me. The floods of ungodly men
Right.
made me afraid.
Right. So the sorrows of death, if I said that correctly, right?
Yeah.
And evil men compass me. What does it say in the book of Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter? Give me Habakkuk 2, and I believe it's verse 12. Verse 5, actually. It's verse 5. What does it say in Habakkuk 2 and 5? You got a precept, brother. You know,
He was talking about Saul.
yeah, but that can still apply right now. That could still apply right now. But if you want to really if you really want to correct it, if it is talking about soul, then that's the true breakdown of it.
This is our songs. The first place is
Yeah.
to the chief musician, a psalm of David, servant of the Lord. You spake unto the Lord the words of this song in the day that the Lord delivered him from the hand of all his enemies,
Right, which were
and
the
from the
Semitic
hand,
nations.
and from the hand of Saul.
Yeah. Because even Saul became an enemy to David. Because I believe Saul got jealous of David because he was to be the one taking over the throne. So David had enemies. You know, he was enemies towards those Hamites. All right, and then he was also an enemy to Saul. Because Saul got jealous of him. Because Saul was in the power seat, and then the Lord didn't really want to deal with Saul no more. Because Saul was going off. Go on, brother. So he decided to deal with David instead.
Verse 5. The sorrows of hell compassed me about.
Right.
The snares of death prevented me. In my distress I called upon Yahweh and cried unto my God.
Right.
He heard my voice out of his temple, and my cry came before him,
Right.
even into his ears.
Exactly. So the same way King David was afflicted by his enemies and was surrounded by his enemies, the Lord heard us pray and he was delivered out of that. So right now as it stands, we're surrounded with our enemies right now, which represents all of these other nations. And the number one enemy of us right now is the nation of Esau and Edom. Okay, that's the number one enemy right now. And we're going to be taken from the clutches of our enemy. And we're going to come back down here and we're going to pretty much put in some work. And like I said, man, I don't have to explain myself on that. But we're gonna see what I'm talking about when it's played out in the reality. Go on, brother.
It said,
And I mean by work. Go on, bro.
and the earth shook and trembled. The foundations also of the hills moved and was shaken because he was wroth.
Right, because he was rough. Because of the the great majesty of the Lord. Now, the judgment that came down. So it made an impact on the earth. If I'm correct on that. Go on.
There went up a smoke out of his nostrils, and fire out of his mouth devoured.
Right. In other words, those laser beams.
Coals were kindled by it.
Right. And that's going to happen all over again, man. You're going to have the Lord. He's going to come back. And he's going to have his chariots. And they're going to do the same thing as in the days of David. So when we say this society is going to be destroyed, we're not just saying it because it sounds cool to say. We're saying it because it's going to happen. That's why we're saying it. Okay? And it's all prophecy, which is what we're reading. We're reading to you the book of prophecy. Go on, brother.
He bowed the heavens also and came down, and darkness was under his feet.
Right. And darkness is under his feet because when the Lord comes back, he's going to cover the entire earth. And it's just going to be a dark shadow covering the entire earth because of his what? His cloud. Like when you read about the book of Ezra, the 13th chapter, Ezra saw this mountain as he thought it was a mountain, but it was a gigantic so-called revolt. Okay? So when the Lord comes back, he's going to come back in a gigantic UFO, so-called, which to us they call the IFOs. We can identify those flying objects.
That's it. And he did rode upon a cherub and did fly.
Right, he did fly.
Yea, he did fly upon the wings of the wind.
Right, he did fly upon the wings of the wind. So he was in the midst, the atmosphere. So when the Lord comes back, people are going to be shook, man. People are going to see something that they never ever thought they could ever see in the day of their life. That's what they're going to realize. And that same so-called UFO they're going to see is going to be gathering certain men that's still so stiffly for his word. Go on, brother.
Amos chapter 5 verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord, to what end is it for you?
Right, because you got people out here, they wishing for the Lord to come back, not understanding what the Lord is going to do, not understanding what the day of the Lord consists of. They don't know this. So they're seeking for the Lord. But we look for the day of the Lord. Why? Because we know that the day of the Lord, yeah, it's going to be troublesome, but it's going to be deliverance. And that's what we're reading right now. So continue on. That's what we're reading right now. We're reading about the deliverance of the nation of Israel. So-called black, so-called Latinos, Native American Indians.
Just said, he made darkness his secret place.
Yeah.
His pavilion round about him were dark waters and thick clouds of the skies.
Right. They were because you have certain chariots that look like clouds. Okay, they come in all forms and shapes. Tells you that in Ezekiel the first chapter, how Ezekiel saw them in different forms as he explained. You know, so the Lord is way out there, man. The Most High, he's above this comprehension. He's above this realm. So anything that he does is going to be on a totally different level. That's why Paul said it himself. There's things that we've never seen or heard or even touched that we shall, see, because his ways is just, above and beyond.
Yeah, on YouTube there's a chariot in Indonesia, quite a recent one.
Yeah.
And you can see it transforming right before all the people them are coming out, and they're pointing at it, very, very clear, but it's transforming from a cloud into a shape.
Yeah.
So you can identify it, but there's always room for, the Most High always leaves room for someone who, if you want to discredit it, you can find something.
Right.
But for the spiritual eyes, you can see what it is.
Oh yeah, of course. So in order for you to see the wonders that's going on, you have to be spiritual.
Yeah.
You can't just be some old regular geezer picking up the Bible, because you're gonna think it's nonsense. Of course you're gonna think it's nonsense. Because you don't have the spirituality to connect with it. All right, and I'm even gonna go as far as saying as well that those pastors have not a clue what the hell they're doing anyway. And the pedophile Roman Catholic bishops, elders that's controlling that church, they have not a clue what the hell they're doing. Okay, but in a sense they do, because they're really Satan worshippers. Go on, brother. I gotta correct myself there. They know what they're doing. They worshiping Satan.
Isaiah 31 verse 5, as birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem.
Right.
Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it.
Exactly. So when the Lord comes back, all of those angels are going to be round about him, and they're going to come in like manna, right? As we just read to us, they're going to appear before all, and all eyes are going to see the Lord. All you're going to see is the little so-called UFOs, unidentifiable flying objects, which will be to the people. People are going to be shitting themselves. They're going to be doodling their pants, pissing their pants all over the place, dropping dead if necessary. Okay, go on, brother.
Verse 12, Psalms 18, at the brightness that was before him, his thick clouds passed, hailstones and coals of fire. The Lord also thundered in the heavens, and the highest gave his voice, hailstones and coals of fire.
Right, and hailstones and coals of fire. So when the Lord speaks, all you're going to see is lightning and thundering and all kinds of concentrated fire. And that's what the Israelites found out, because they wanted to deal with the Lord up close and personal. But they found out that that was the wrong thing to do. They found something that they didn't find in the first place. They're not in what is it? Their power is not comparable to the Lord.
Yeah.
Okay, go on, brother.
Yea, he sent out his arrows and scattered them, and he shot out lightnings
Right.
and discomfited
And it's
them.
telling you right there, the arrows is talking about those laser beams.
Right.
Which laser is what you call concentrated fire. And when fire is concentrated, it's more hotter. Okay, and the hottest fire you can get is blue fire. It's more concentrated. So when the Lord said he was going to turn, and the Most High said he was going to destroy and turn people into pillars of salt, we're going to see that happen all over again. Because that fire is going to be so hot to where it's going to take all of the, all that you're made out of, including the water that's within your body, out of you, and you're going to become pretty much, dissolved. Powder. Go on, brother.
I said, then the channels of waters were seen, and the foundations of the world were discovered, and thy rebuke, O Yahweh, at the blast of the breath of thy nostrils.
Right, because when Yahweh Shah comes back, he's going to come out of the outer atmosphere. He's not going to come from underneath the waters, because you have waters above as well. It's all different levels of water. Okay, so he's going to come through the outer atmosphere, out of a different realm to this realm, and show himself, declare himself to the world. And after that's all said and done, everybody on this planet is going to become a believer then. Come on, bro.
So it said, he sent from above, he took me, he drew me out of many waters.
Right, again, he drew him out of the people that subdued him. So he was drawn out from the heathen, and we're going to be taken out from out of the hands of our enemies, just like how David was. David saw the chariots of the Lord, and he saw that he saw his own salvation come before him. Same thing with I believe it was the prophet Elijah, if I'm correct on that.
Yeah.
Well, he was beamed up as well.
Yeah,
So there's stories, there's countless of stories on how the prophets were beamed up and delivered from the hands of their enemies at the time.
Yeah.
So right now, being that we're the Israelites and we're the Jews and we're in captivity, the Lord has a way of leading the children of Israel to captivity and delivering them out of captivity.
Yeah.
But is he going to deliver every soul? No, he's going to deliver the elect, the believers. The ones that are teaching the complete doctrine and that stay with the sound doctrine. Okay, go on, brother.
He delivered me from my strong enemy,
Yeah.
and from them which hated me.
Right, and from them which hated me.
For they were too strong for me.
Yeah. And they were too strong for me. It's like right now, Esau's too strong for us right now. That's why we gotta again move with seasoning salt. We gotta move with some kind of wisdom out here.
Yeah.
Because you may be in the spirit where you want to tump somebody down, but guess what? If you tump somebody down, you don't know who you tumping down. You could be tumping down a cop,
Con.
an undercover cop, or you could be tumping down a guy that's just some secretive gang where they deal with you on the secret level.
Right.
Okay, there's certain guys down here in England, man, you know, that get into that shit. How do I know? Because my grandmother told me about that shit. There's certain, old geezers that would pretty much take people down to the gully and torture them, man. Cut their toes off. Do all kind of bullshit to them, man. So you got some crazy people out here. That's why you gotta walk circumspectly out here, man. All right, and it's not even that. It's just people are demons in general. So you don't want to be quarreling with the wrong demon, man. Especially these Edomites. They're nothing but demons. Go on, brother.
Revelation 11, verse 12.
If you're not in this truth, you a demon. That's just what it is, man. Go on, bro.
And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither.
It's true.
Yeah.
And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud.
Right. Read that again, brother.
Verse 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them,
Yeah.
Come up hither.
Right. Come up hither. Go on.
And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them.
It's the same thing. Same old thing, man. Give me that in what is it? Police. You got, brother. Give me that in the Ecclesiastes 1. You know what I want.
Make a point.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, Sarnetta, everybody knows about Sarnetta, the so-called conscious community, the videos and that. He's starting to bug out, brother.
Oh yeah. What's his name, man? What's his name, man?
From Dallas. So Dallas, can't be talking about that one?
No, I'm talking.
Done a video on him.
Yeah.
But-
No, I know you're talking about that. I'm talking about that guy you're talking about.
Sarnetta.
Sarnetta, right?
Yeah, Sarnetta
Call him
Studios.
Sarnigga.
Yeah, Sarnigga, yeah?
Yeah, he's bugging out, man. That guy's losing his mind.
Right.
But that was the same dude that was coming up against us at one time.
Yep.
Now they losing their mind, and that whole black conscious movement is falling apart now. It's not upholding itself anymore like it used to. They're not kicking in the door like they used to. Go on, brother.
1 Thessalonians 4 verse 17. Then we which are alive and remain
Right. Then we which are alive and remain, go on.
shall be caught up together with them in the clouds.
So we're going to caught up with the Lord in the cloud. It didn't say clouds, it said a cloud. So all of the brothers that have been scattered abroad doing this work, we're all going to meet the Lord and we're all going to meet each other. Like you said a couple of weeks ago, brother.
with them in the clouds. Clouds plural.
Oh, really? Okay, read that again.
Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds.
Really, that's what it says. Listen. Okay. Yeah, read that again.
Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds.
Yeah, so what that means is we're going to be delivered in the most miraculous fashion. And that's why it says in the scriptures that it's no longer going to be remembered or memorial on how we got delivered out of the land of Egypt, but how we got delivered out of the land of the north and also the lands that we've been scattered in. Let me see if I can find that precept.
To meet the Lord in the air,
To meet the Lord in the air.
and so shall we ever be with the Lord.
And so shall we ever be with the Lord. So once we get delivered with the Lord, we're going to be with the Lord for a long period of time, forever. All right? And that's how the kingdom is going to be situated. Spearheaded by Yahweh Shai and also with the men that he has saved.
Wherefore comfort one another with these words.
And that's what we do. This is why you got to do the sit-down shows, so you can exhort the other disciples that's in the know.
Back in Revelation 11 and verse 12. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. And the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell.
Right. Now, the great earthquake, first and foremost, is talking about that nuclear wave, that nuclear fire, that the angels have control over pursuant to the book of Revelation, 7th chapter. Okay, the destroying wind. That's what that earthquake's referring to. And the 10th part represents the different parts that represents America, which the number 10 means completion. So in other words, all parts of America is going to be destroyed. All right. Because when you break the bulk, what is it? The aerial codes down of America. America is made out of 10 parts. When you look into the area codes and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Go on, brother.
Isaiah 24 verse 18. Let me start verse 17. Fear and the pit and the snare are upon thee, O inhabitant of the earth.
Right, all inhabitants of the earth. Those that are in power over the earth are known as inhabitants. All right? As the scripture says, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, that he covered the faces of the judges thereof, and who and where is he? He done found them out. It's all in the Bible. Okay, we've taken this history, and what we've done is we've read the scriptures and put it all together, and we found the answer. And we find out the wicked people of the planet Earth. Let me say it loud and clear so that it's heard. The wicked people of the planet Earth is the so-called white man. That's what we found out through the scriptures. Okay? Go on, brother.
And it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the field shall fall into the pit.
Right.
And he that cometh
And that's what they're going to do. They're going to flee into the pit. That's why you have those underground bunkers. Go on, brother.
Right.
Because what they're going to look and do is try to escape, which they will escape the nuclear holocaust. But the reason why they're under those bunkers, because they believe they're going to come back and rule again, set up this world order called the New World Order. That's what they believe, but what they don't understand is that they're gonna go in their pits. They're gonna go in those pits just so that we can then bring them out of those pits and slap chains on those motherfuckers. All right, that's in the book of Psalms. Go on, brother. Psalms 49, I believe it is.
Right. I read on. And he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare.
Right, and shall be taken in the snare. Go on.
For the windows from on high are open,
Which is talking about the ozone layer. Go on.
and the foundations of the earth do shake.
Right, and the foundations of the earth do shake. In other words, all of the different structures or building structures is going to shake. Pursuant to the book of, 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter. He hastened the coming of the day of the Lord with all of the elements melting with fervent heat. So all of the foundations that upholds these kingdoms is going to shake out of power. So that means the London Bridge is going to be shaken. That means these different towns and these different towns filled with cities, Slovakia, buildings are going to be taken out. Okay, what you see around you is going to be taken out. Go on, brother. And there's going to be a new foundation set up, and the new foundations are going to be the buildings of the kingdom of heaven, made with all sorts of precious stones, like the agate stone, the sapphire stone. All of these beautiful stones, we're going to use these stones to make new buildings of. All right, and it's going to foster our kingdom is going to be greater and much more beautifuler than this piece of crap kingdom right here.
Wow.
Go on, brother.
The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean dissolved.
Right, the earth is clean, dissolved, and broken down. Now, is that talking about how the earth is going to be totally destroyed? No, because it tells you in the Bible that the earth abideth forever. You're going to have portions of the earth that is going to be destroyed. And the main kingdoms or the main societies that are going to be destroyed is America, number one. Number two, Great Britain. Okay, and I'm just dealing with those two areas, these two countries, because they're the most proudest of them all. As it tells us in the Apocrypha, the proudest city shall become what? More desolate. So we know without a shred of doubt, based on Bible prophecy and based on what we see happening around the earth, because we watch the news all day, we don't watch no Coronation Street, we don't watch no goddamn TV, boy, we're dealing with prophecy here. We're seeing what's going on around the world, and what we see is we put two and two together, reading the Bible, all right, and we watch the news and we see all of these things happening on the earth. Go on, brother.
The earth is moved exceedingly.
Why is the earth moved exceedingly? Why is that? Because those missiles are gonna pretty much hit ground zero and the whole earth is gonna quake. That's what it means.
The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage,
Right.
and the transgression thereof
Right.
shall be heavy upon it.
So when those missiles hit ground zero, the whole earth is gonna quake, depending on the impact that the missile makes on the earth. And when the earth shakes, what you have the tectonic plates move out in the midst. So when the tectonic plates move, that's gonna create some kind of friction. And when there's friction created, what are you gonna have? Tornadoes and all kinds of what they call natural disasters happen. So on an overall scale, there's going to be nothing but damage done on this planet. And then guess what? The beautiful thing about it is that this planet is going to be restored in the right way. All right, we're going to restore everything in the right way because we have the word, we have the law, such commandments to restore everything in the right way, and we have the right, perfect vibration to set the earth in order. Okay. And I'm going to say this loud and clear: when the so-called white man rules the earth, there's no peace that can come from the earth. Never was and never will. Okay? It's just not gonna happen. All of this protesting and wasting your time to try to make the world a better place, the world ain't gonna become a better place. It's gonna get worse. Now, am I saying that because I'm miserable? No. I'm saying